everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Dr. Carmen Bryant. This is Redefining Yourself. This is a program where I talk about overcoming narcissist abuse. And so if you have not already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Hit the bell so that you know whenever I upload new videos. And that's Tuesday through Friday. I do pre-recordings, and then Sundays I come on live between 8 and 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and I open it up for questions and answers. For those of you that joined me yesterday going live on my birthday to eat breakfast with me, thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. I am really, truly honored, and I'm so honored that I could be a part of your life and teaching you guys and talking to you guys about awareness and the recovery process of whatever you've been through with a person that was deemed a narcissist or had narcissist traits, or that you identify as probably being an NPD. And so thank you guys so much for sharing your stories, your recoveries, your small victories, your big victories. That is truly honorable, and I love the stories because it's letting me know how these videos are helping you and what I can do and what I can talk about. Thank you guys for the topics as well. And for those of you that donated on my birthday, I am so truly honored. You guys just don't know. You guys are like the greatest group of people that I have had the honor of providing information to, providing education, and being a part of our tribe here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. You guys really make it worth everything that I do. And believe it or not, like I told you guys, you know, the suffering that you guys have been through, the pain and the tears that you have cried, it makes it all worth it. Trust me, I've been where you've been. I've gone through what you've gone through. And so it is truly an honor to know that the pain was never in vain, and that I can turn around and take that pain and help you guys in your process. And I'm telling you guys this because some of you are going to be some outstanding teachers, educators, and coaches, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys when you guys start. You know, you're always welcome to ask me questions so I can help you. And so let's get started today. I did have a question. There were several times someone has asked me to talk about financial abuse. And so as you know, when you're dealing with narcissist abuse, you know, you're dealing with domestic violence. That is what you're dealing with. You're dealing with domestic violence. And those of you that have been in domestic violence situation, you've gone to counseling, and maybe the abuser has been to counseling, batterers, you know, in a batterers program, in an anger management course, and a lot of them do recover from it. You know, not everybody is a narcissist, and some of them do recover from it. They've been through traumatic events to themselves, and they need counseling. They need help. They need to process through their own life pains and have you know, processed through it, have learned through it through their own counseling. A narcissist, on the other hand, is a person that has narcissistic personality disorder. It is a personality disorder that clinically and through research is not changeable. It is a permanent dysfunctional character flaw, or a permanent dysfunctional personality disorder, and it does not change. Doesn't matter. Medication doesn't work. You know, counseling doesn't work. It may look like it worked, but it doesn't. They're just learning new ways of manipulating people, and so it is a permanent personality disorder. But the things that they're doing is considered as domestic violence. It falls under the umbrella of domestic violence, and it is the power and control. If you look at the power and control wheel, it talks about the different ways that people that are in domestic violence or are the perpetrators of domestic violence do. You know, you have spiritual abuse, you have physical abuse, you have emotional abuse, you have financial abuse. You know, there are there's whole, even in the physical abuse, is not just putting their hands or hitting you. There's also blocking you, locking you in rooms, keeping you from going to the doctor. You know, there's medical abuse. And so there is abuse on that power and control wheel. You look on that wheel and you can find the power and control. That is how they get power and control over their victims, or for those of you that are survivors. And so it does fall under the power and control wheel. It does fall under domestic violence. And so with a narcissist, to address the financial abuse, and not all them, you know, not all people that use financial abuse are narcissists, but we're specifically speaking on the narcissist and how they use financial abuse for power and control. And so I went to one of my favorite blogs, which is Pro Psych Central, and the author is Christine Hammond. She is a licensed mental health counselor, and the topic is the exhausted woman. But I wanted to go down and talk about the financial abuse because some of you have experienced this. Some of us have been through this. And so there's a former Harvard Business School professor, and his name is David Horton. And what he said is money is a mechanism for control. especially when you're dealing with a narcissist. It starts off small with little things like removing your name from accounts, and then grows into stealing, threats, extortion. And so here it talks about how money is used to gain power and control over you, or to maintain control over you. And so what a narcissist will do, and I said this in a video before, during the love bombing stage, they buy you all these gifts, expensive gifts, take you out to eat. You know, they overdo it, and a lot of them are in debt when they're doing it. And so they run up those credit card bills. They, you know, they give presents, but their expectation, what's behind that? You know, most of us give gifts, we don't expect gifts back. You know, you give gifts because you want to give a gift. Everything that they do, there's always an ulterior motive behind it. So during the love bombing stage, they take you out to dinner, they buy you gifts, they buy you clothes, they buy you this, they pay for this, they pay your car note, they put gas in there. They're putting themselves in debt because they probably honed in on your finances. And so what they do is they use that as leverage to force you to comply to their demands, because there's going to come a time where they run out of finances themselves. And so, as you heard me say before, then they turn around and use it as leverage as, you know, when I had all this, you know, you didn't have a problem spending my money, and I was doing all this for you. Now that, you know, I'm going through a bit of financial struggle because of business, or because of my ex-husband or my ex-wife, you know, and they're messing with my money, or they're taking me to court. And a lot of times that's a lie, but they're taking me to court, they're running after my money, really is their irresponsibility when it comes to finances. And so they'll use that, and they'll tell you that, oh, now that I don't have it, you know, and while I'm struggling trying to get back on my feet, you didn't mind, you know, using my money or having my money. So I think it's only fair that in a relationship, or, you know, we're supposed to be together, we're supposed to be a couple, that, you know, you help me out, you know, when I need help. And so now you feel obligated to help that individual when it comes to finances. And so another thing that they'll do is they'll flaunt their money and use it as a weapon against the less fortunate, including you or other family members. And so let's say that you have a narcissist that has left the wife or has left the husband, and they had maybe more money, or maybe they have literally ruined you financially, and they have money at that, or have your money at that particular time. So what they'll do is they make sure that, you know, or family members that are in need and need something, or you as a person that may need something from that ex or the ex-narc, you know, male or female. What they'll do is make sure you see all the money that they have, you know, the new vehicles that they buy, the new clothes, the restaurants they go to, you know, the jewelry that they're wearing, you know, the trips that they go on, all to let you see, while you may be struggling to pay bills, you may be struggling to get food in your home to feed the kids, you know, but they make sure that they flaunt this money and their wealth, their facade, or this illusion of wealth with the new vehicles, and, you know, whatever it is that they do to show you how much money they have, without even thinking of trying to help you. You know, you may have parents that, you know, are disabled, or parents that are unable to help themselves and may need a little help. And what they do is they almost look at them in disgust, and they show all this stuff that they have, but yet they won't even help the parent with a bill, or help the parent with repairing the home, you know. So this is how facetious these individuals can be. Another thing is to forbid you to have access to your own money or your own possessions, so that you are entirely dependent on them for food, clothing, shelter, or any necessities. So you could have a good paying job where your money is equivalent to their money, or however it is, but they decide that it is they are more responsible, and they need to take over the household bills and the finances, and almost give you a stipend. But they don't give you enough because they want to force you to beg them for something. Please, you know, I need a little money. And so they may even make comments to you like, you always have your hand out. But think about it, and I said this in another video, think about it. How do you have your hand out for your own money when you two make maybe the same amount, or maybe you even make more? But they have convinced you that you are irresponsible, and so now you're asking for money, and they're appalled because you always have your hands out asking for money, and it's your money that you're asking for basic stuff, you know, toiletry, food, clothes for the kids, clothes for yourself, you know. You may also notice that they're always into, say they're always into material things, buying clothes, buying jewelry, buying cars, whatever. And you want something as simple as a new outfit, or maybe some makeup, or you may want, maybe some tennis shoes, or, whatever. And they look at you and they project themselves. You're irresponsible. You always got your hand out trying to buy things that are unnecessary. You don't need that. You don't need that, but you're looking at them, but you have all this and you're enjoying the pleasures of this money. They may even repeat to you like, but I work hard for this money. And you're thinking like, wait a minute, that's my money that you're spending. Let's see, they steal from you or your family and expect that everyone is okay with it. So they take money, but they may turn around and say, but all the things that I did for you, or when I did this, when I gave you $20, but they stole hundreds and thousands of dollars, but you didn't think about it when I put gas in your car, so that's that gaslighting. Defraud or exploit your financial resources for financial gain. Not for your financial gain, but for your financial gain. So they do believe in fraud. They will commit fraud, whether it's income tax fraud, whether it's, whatever they do, they will resort to fraud if they want money, and especially those somatic that are into their looks and material possessions. They will do whatever they do, even commit fraud to get money in their hand. They'll destroy your personal belongings without remorse, especially items that have great significance to you prior to the relationship. An heirloom, maybe some jewelry from your grandmother, great grandmother, or you may have, antiques in your home that come from, your great grandfather, or whatever it is. They don't have a problem taking things that are valuable to you and destroying them. Maybe furniture in the home that you spent a lot of money purchasing, or, clothing that, have a price tag to it, for those ladies that like those red bottom shoes, or, for gentlemen that believe in certain colognes that are expensive colognes, or certain suits, or Armani suits, or whatever suits, you like, certain shoes, they'll destroy your stuff to show you that they have power. And that, they'll find something that is significant to you to destroy, all because they need that fuel, your reaction, your hurt, your pain behind it. Let's see. They'll do things like prevent you from acquiring assets, insist that you solely rely on them. So you getting assets, you purchasing land, maybe you getting gold bullions, or putting something in a safe deposit box, something that's valued, you getting some type of asset. They may help, in your mindset, you may be thinking this is for the family, so that, later years we have something, for our family, for us. But they look at it as you're getting something, and you're getting something so that if you leave, you'll have something more than I have. They think like little kids, literally. Let's see, demand that all financial gifts or inheritance be placed in their name. So anything, whether it's like, say you play the lottery or whatever, any of your earnings or winnings need to be put in their name. You'll notice that they'll make large purchases like homes or cars, and you notice that they always want to put their names first. They get account, or they get a light bill, or anything. They want to put it all in their name, because they'll use that against you by saying, see, I pay for all this. And really it's you that's paying for stuff that's in their name. Cars in their name, so material possessions, they put it in their name. So just in case you leave, they can take it from you, or they put you in a position where you're financially unable to leave and start over, because they'll try to ruin your credit on purpose. Let's see. They refuse you access to money to pay court-ordered child support or spousal support because it's not their problem, that the other party doesn't really need the money anyway. So you're court ordered to pay child support, or court ordered to pay spousal support, and that goes for females and males. And they make up their mind that it's not necessary for the other person to get this money, and so I'm not going to make the money available for you to pay them. So, but if anyone gets in trouble, guess who gets in trouble? You can't get in trouble, because of the fact now you're in contempt of court. But they don't care, because that's not their problem. And you have to figure it out whatever way. Even if you're making your own money, you need to figure that out yourself. Coerce you into selling or signing over financial assets that is only in your name, yet they have many financial assets in their name. Pressure you and agree to power of attorney so they can sign legal documents for you without reciprocation. So they want power of attorney so they can operate in your name, but they won't turn around and do it for you. Or like for those of you that have like life insurance policies, or you have put money aside to bury each other, what they'll do is and it's crazy, because when you're dead, you're gone. You can't take material possessions with you. They'll make sure that your name is not on the burial paperwork. They make sure that you don't get any of the money for life insurance, because you may have something more to them, but they're dead. But do you see how they talk? You see, not talk, but you see how they think. And so if I die, I don't want you to have any money, because of me. I don't want you to get any of my money till the grave, till death do us part. Remember that? Let's see. Cancel life, health, or car or house insurance without your knowledge, leaving you vulnerable, and then claim that the expenses were unnecessary. Now, think about that. Some of it is just crazy. They open bank accounts in their name only and not yours, but won't give you access or allow you to see any of the records. They force you to hand over your paycheck, deposit into their account, and then deny you access to your money. So you get a paycheck, but it's deposited into their name, their account only, but you don't have access to look to see what's in the account. And it's your money that's going in there. Or they force you to do direct deposit into their account, but you're not allowed to look at the money. And then if there's stuff that's kind of questionable, they fly into a rage to distract you so they don't have to answer your question, because a lot of times that money is not being used for a household. A lot of times, as I said before, that money could be used to love bomb new supply. Forbids you from maintaining a personal account, insisting that you're incapable of managing such things. So they're belittling you and telling you what you cannot do. Own investment accounts at various financial institutions that are unknown to you, and they have secret stashes of money. Sometimes your money is stashed in there. They put bills or credit cards in your name, but they won't give you access to the credit cards, but they'll spend the money on the credit card. Then they won't pay it. Then they may leave the relationship and don't pay it, because that's your problem, not theirs. Assets are in their name, but the debt is in your name. So this keeps you hostage. Increase debt without agreement and then lie about it when it's discovered. So see, they increase debt, making it harder for you to leave. You are now being held hostage in the relationship. And then you're not able to get back on your feet, or to even, get an apartment or find somewhere to stay, because they've messed up your credit and it's in your name. Their property's in theirs, the credit is in yours, the debt is in yours. Let's see. Ruin your credit rating and ability to obtain credit in the future by not paying bills. This move renders you powerless financially, because you have no assets and no ability to obtain credit. Claim credit card companies make enough money and therefore they don't deserve to be paid. Think about it, how irrational these people are. They'll use your child's social security number without permission to claim additional income tax refunds, or often this is done by fraud. They falsify tax document records to show greater reduction that is true, then expect you to sign the tax documents without question. So they won't even allow you to question what's on the tax documents. They know that they're doing something fraudulent, but if you ask questions, they fly into a rage. And what do? In order to make them be quiet, you sign the paperwork. Deplete tax sheltered money such as retirement without your knowledge and expect you to trust them with the money. They shame you for how you spent your money while elevating their superior spending habits. So they'll dog you out about how you spend money. You could be the responsible one, while they just have this spending habits that is just unreasonable, just ridiculous. They force you to beg for money, clothes, food, medicine, personal hygiene, and then claim that you don't really need them, or you always have your hand out. Spend money on them, but not you, claiming that you don't deserve it because of your poor budgeting habits. Or your poor budgeting ability. So they will invest a lot of money, like I said before, on clothes, cars, material things, but they won't invest that money on you. They'll do it for themselves, saying they deserve it, but you won't do it, and they won't do it for you, and then they'll turn around and say, well, first of all, you need to make as much money as I do in order for me to spend money on yourself like you do. And you could be making more money than them, or the same amount. It's never ending. So, for example, work-related. They prevent you from using the car by taking your keys. They insist that they are more important than you being on time. Or they keep you from work because they sabotage. So they try to get you fired. Whatever means of support you may have, they'll try to sabotage that. They'll force you to work for a family business with little or no pay. And so... or they control the budget, but they don't want to pay you. So you're supposed to work for the company for free. They got a business. You're supposed to come in and work all these hours and not get paid. And it's a family business. So all the money is going back into the business. No, you need to get paid. or just stop working there. Forbids you from earning money, attending school, or advancing your career. They demand total financial dependence on them. So they don't want you to do anything that's a possibility that you could sustain yourself by yourself without them, because they want you totally dependent on them. They want to be your sole provider and your God. They interfere with your work environment by calling your boss and demanding you to be treated one certain way. They may even come to your job, and harass you on your job or tell you how to do your job. They look at your calendars. They may answer your phone for you. And these are business calls. They answer your phone for you, just completely humiliating you or embarrassing you. Unannounced visits, excessive phone calls and texting while you could be in a business meeting, and it has a negative impact on your job. Let's see. They claim that they're in charge and not your boss. I'm the boss of you. Your boss is not the boss of you, but this is your job. They force you to leave your job or cause you to get fired, and work is then blamed. Work is blamed and not them. They don't take proper responsibility. And so you have to understand that they use your financial situation, or they use finances against you to maintain total control, especially if you're the type person that they met that makes good money, that has a good career, that has good financial income. They sabotage that because they want total control. They want you totally dependent on you. A lot of times, a lot of you have gotten sick where you're unable to. They have made you literally sick. And you have gotten to a point where you're so exhausted, you can't even heal from sicknesses, and so now you are told, in your mind, you're thinking like, I'm in this relationship, so it's for better or worse. And so if you're not doing well, I'm going to make sure that I take care of you. And likewise, I know you'll take care of me. But it's never is. A narcissist doesn't think that way. You get sick, they're looking at you as a defected item, a defected toy, and you're sick and you can't bring in any more money. And so you're sick or you can't do anything, but you're sick because of them. And so now you can't, and that's why a lot of you will look and say, well, I did get sick, and they ended up finding a new supply that had more than what I had, or they had more, they had more finances, more assets than I had, but it's not because of the fact that you got sick or anything like that. They grew bored and they're trying to deplete you, and then they just go find another one that has money or has material possessions or whatever they have in order to sustain that lifestyle that they have created. And so hopefully this has helped you, give you some insight on financial abuse. Narcissists will financially abuse you. They lock you into these expensive lifestyles that you can barely afford, or then they make you responsible, make you try to go get, not try, they try to force you to go get 2 and 3 jobs to maintain their image, to maintain this finances coming in while they do God knows whatever, and so a lot of you guys are leaving out of the relationship, financially destroyed, having to start really from rock bottom, having to start all over again. But if you did it one time, you can do it again. Everything is strategic. You go find people that, they give you financial counseling to help you with budgeting, to help you get back on your feet, to do whatever you have to do to start all over again. For some of us, when you start a business, sometimes businesses fail before they become really good financial institutions, you want to say. Sometimes businesses fail before they get off the ground. Ideas fail before they get off the ground, and so just look at it as this is a lesson that you have learned. This is a very hard lesson, a very valuable lesson that you have learned, but you can get back on your feet and start all over again. Yes, they may have ruined your credit. They may have ruined, there's programs out there, even with here in the state of Washington, I think it's Washington Coalition of Domestic Violence or something like that, where they assist people coming out of domestic violence. The YWCA, they assist people coming out of domestic violence, and they give them assistance even knowing they may not have finances like they have. They may have had their credit destroyed, but they do have programs here for people that have been in domestic violence that need to start fresh. They need a fresh start. They need to start all over again to get back on their feet. But you did it one time and you're a warrior and you can do it again. And so I believe in you, so you have to believe in you, okay? And so hopefully this has helped you today. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. You can go to my Facebook page as well, Psychological Health Consultants and Services, and hit the thumbs up. I post on both. Today is Friday, so I will be back on Sunday between 8 and 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which is West Coast time, and I open the forum up for question and answer. So you guys come and ask me whatever you want to ask. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you for all the feedback. Let me know what you think about this. Hopefully this has answered your question. And as my friend always says, go and be great. You guys have a great weekend.